Oh, there you are, you glorious jerk. Get on in here. I was just about to get started without you. Here's to you, mate. G'day there, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And congratulations to all of you. But especially you. You've all done it. You found the champ dog. Think about how few people in the world actually manage to do that. It's just you, select few, the cream of the crop, the best, the brightest, the buffest, the most brilliant, and the best looking, if I may say so myself. So proud of all of you. So, today, in the arena, the unfortunate few may have already seen it. Some of you may have heard hushed whispers, furtive glances, barely credible rumors, only mentioned in dark places. There is a new horror grabbing the meta, ready to pull it under into the dark depths of despair. We're playing Hullbreaker Horror, guys! So in today's video, you're going to get to see me build a deck from scratch and take it into what is essentially the first game with the deck. I say essentially because I actually did queue up another game before the game you're about to see, and I had to quit out of Arena about 30 seconds later. Just dealing with some real world situations. Happens to all of us. It was unfortunate, but you get to see me build the deck from scratch. You get to see me blunder my way through the deck, trying to figure it out on the fly, on the ladder, and queued up against what is the sort of de facto default best build of the deck. And you're going to see me somehow pull out a win, despite the odds being stacked against me, despite my own lack of knowledge of the deck, despite my own lack of competence and lack of belief in myself. You're going to see me get there. And I'm so glad I get to bring you all along for the ride. Let's have one last sip to your health, to your brilliance. Let's go build ourselves a deck. Okay, so I want to build a Dimir control list. So we're going to start with... it's going to be a Lier Hullbreaker list. That's for sure. So part of the reason I'm interested in this is Dread Fugue. I think I want that. And I want to also load up on some 1 mana options to trigger Hullbreaker. Fading Hope is obviously really good with Lier. If we're going Fading Hope, we're probably going Divide by 0. Okay, so Path of Peril, Path to Peril. Looks like I don't have any copies of it. I probably want at least a couple copies of that. Some Meathook Massacre. And Shadow's Verdict. 6 sweepers, that's a lot. Celestis for ramp. Seems good. What else? I need some card draw. So, Memory Deluge. I want something in the 2 mana slot, so I've been thinking about Siphon Insight. Although, I guess that's what I've got Consider in the deck for, isn't it? So, I want some removal. Infernal Grasp is obviously the best. But it does hurt, so I'm going to go a 3-1 split with Power Word Kill, I think. And I'm already at like 62 cards. So I'm just going to stop and have a look at what some other people are playing. What sort of numbers, for example. I mean, I'm probably going to have Jwari Disruption as at least a 2 of. And then we'll look at the lands as well. Just going to take the easy stuff. Tackle the easy stuff first, you know? What is the black-white dual land called? No, not Ice Tunnel. This guy, Shipwreck Marsh. Okay, so the other thing to keep in mind is I have a limited amount of wild cards to spend on this. Now, I'm also playing, because I have Path of Peril, I probably just want a couple of lands that can produce white. Just in case, you know? Just in case. What is the, their fashionably late tap land? Come on. So the deck building interface in this game is just horrible. I really wish I knew the names of this cycle. Oh, I really wish I knew. What we got here, well. I probably actually do need a couple of Field of Ruins. Tyrite Sanctum, what are you? What even are you? So I can do this. I would rather have the I think I would rather have this one though, to be honest. But maybe not. How many lands am I at? 24, 25, 26. It'll get me up to 27. And maybe I'll sneak in a Hall of Storm Giants. Just a single. Just a one-off. So that's 24 lands, 25, 27 all up, including 3 Jwari Disruptions with 3 Celestis. So that should be okay. Maybe I just go down to 2 Hullbreaker Horrors and 2 Liers. I don't know if that's too low. And I probably need to cut a sweeper option. At least. And I'm still at 62 here. So it's probably 1/1-drop spell. And maybe a divide by 0. I mean, I definitely don't love this. I'll be honest. Okay, so we're probably looking at something like this. And we've still got a few basics, which is nice. We've got enough to power our Field of Ruin, etc. But let's choose some lands that aren't hideous. Get some Zendikar full arts in there, I think. Oop, have I gone past it? I think I went past it. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's our main deck. Because we've got Divide, we want... Okay, let's just... What are our lessons? I want at least one teachings. I don't think I particularly need any of the blue ones. I wanted environmental sciences, and do I get like one mascot exhibition? I mean, honestly, I'm more likely to want a second sciences or a second teachings. It's because it's cheaper, amongst other things. I probably want another Meathook Massacre. Some Blood Chief's Thirst. Some more removal. Seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. What else? I'm just having a look at what other people building similar decks have done in their sideboard. Do I want Malevolent Hermit? Probably. As a 2 of. I want to give Nighthawk Scavenger a go. Like, I really want this card to be good. Go blank to deal with graveyards. 14 out of 7 cards. Somehow this has been set up as a best of 3 deck. There we go. There we go. Oh, Soul Shatter's interesting as well. Maybe I just go with 2 Celestis. I think Soul Shatter's still probably better than Hero's Downfall at the moment. But yeah, who's really to say? Do I want some more counter spells? I mean, I've got the 2 Hermits. Do I want like a Singleton Test of Talents or a Negate or something? I mean, it doesn't play great with Lier. It's true. But I don't know. I mean, I actually kind of want to get some more counter spells in the main, but I guess I've got Divided by 0 in that slot, so I guess we see how that goes, and maybe we cut it. Well, Parasitic Grasp is another interesting one. Okay. I think maybe I just have to, like, run it out. Maybe I just have to like run it out, play a few games, and see how we go. So yeah, I guess that's what we do. So maybe an event. Honestly, let's just get into ladder. Let's just do it. Okay, on the draw. So let's try our actual game one. I did queue into a game and I got about 2 turns into it before something came up and I had to shut down the game. Like quit out. I did concede first. I wasn't not a complete jerk, but yeah, I had to leave. This hand, we were also on the play. Our hand was much better, so disappointing. But that hand's terrible. This hand can start playing on turn 1. Doesn't have black mana, but oh, what's the put back here? I mean, if I put this back and I'm against an aggro deck, I'll be sad. But I mean, I also can't cast it, so I don't know. That's what I'm going with. Yes, I had to like quit out of the game and run off. At the very least, we have Consider here, so we can do something on turn 1. Wonder what our opponent's on. Our opponent is on, is it? Huzzah! Probably won't be needing that. Okay, we're playing mono blue. Mono blue control versus is it? Let's see how we go. Okay, so they don't have the expressive iteration by the looks of it. We do get to divide by 0 here, but our opponent does not give us the target. Don't have anything to protect Lier with at this point. I feel like this might get countered. Okay, unexpected windfall. So if this is turns combo, we probably just lose here. I mean, honestly, I like all of these cards, but I think I'm going to take these two. You haven't seen anything foretold, so maybe they're on Hullbreaker as well. So we're going to go with the cleave. Cleave cost. Interesting. I mean, this is an easy divide by 0. Sorry, easy expressive iteration. Yeah, I think I just need to pass here, unfortunately. We don't know what this card is. There might be something they try to resolve at instant speed. Obviously not going to try and jam down the Hullbreaker Horror there. It just gets bounced so easily. There's such a big tempo swing for my opponent. Not having access to unexpected windfall is painful. But they don't really have a way to kill this, do they? But if I flash this in, then maybe they flash their own in. So, I'm gonna go with this. See if this resolves. Four, five, six. Get them to use some of their treasures. And this hopefully just forces them to interact on their turn. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Main deck test of talents. They do not need to interact on their turn. Solid chance we just lose here, unfortunately. If they have their horror, which I assume they play. I can't pay the cleave cost. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still, let's have a look. Anyway. Okay, so they don't have anything. Wonderful. That's great. Obviously they can cast this. They're going to dig towards their own horror. Dig, dig, dig. God, they've been through so much of their deck. Okay, we get there. They know we have this to follow up with, so I guess that's what's going on there. Okay, so I want my Malevolent Hermit, I want my Test of Talents, I want my Go Blanks. Do I not have main deck Meathook Massacre? I do, yes. Shadow's Verdict's not very good. I assume they're playing Hullbreaker. They could bring in Dragon. They could bring in the Dragon. Oh, definitely don't want Path of Peril. I'm assuming they're playing Hullbreaker as well. They could bring in Dragon, so I don't mind that. And honestly, if they're going to take out a bunch of creature removal, which I assume they are, maybe I just play Nighthawk Scavenger. Just as an alternate threat. I've still got 2 removal spells. I was on the draw that game, I'm on the draw this game, so that's something. Obviously we got lucky, our opponent just drew quite poorly. But... And it could also be that our opponent doesn't know how to play this deck, much like I don't know how to play this deck, so... There's a few things that could be going on here. This hand is definitely not amazing, but it's acceptable. I've got some early interaction. I've got a threat to play out at some point. I can start playing on turn 1 thanks to Consider. 2 of them in here, hit them both. Sure, why not? Wonder what our opponent has. They must have the 1-mana Spikefield Hazard. They must have Spikefield Hazard. Put that card into my graveyard. Oh, that's so painful. Because I really don't want to put that into my graveyard. But... I kind of have to. Like, it's just a dead card for so long. I was going to hold up Disruption, but now that I have this, I think I just fire this off, get in their hand, hopefully snag an Expressive Iteration. Such a good card. Oh, double Hullbreaker. Expressive Iteration is so good. I kind of regret not holding open the Disruption now. Oh, and we've got double Windfall to crank it out early. Okay. Well, at least they don't get maximum value. That can go into the graveyard. It's pretty much free. So I've got Divide by Zero and Jwari Disruption held up here. I would love to hit an unexpected Windfall with one of these cards. Which means I can't tap out for Nighthawk Scavenger. Okay, they don't want to go for it either into open mana. Makes sense. That's unfortunate. We probably just lose now. But they do need to find a land if they want to play out their horror. No, they don't, because this resolves. Oh, they got us twice with that goddamn test of talents. Do they have a follow-up spell though? If they don't have a spell to cast, they might not play it out. Interesting. How open do I leave myself? I mean, the Jwari disruptions are not very useful, let's be real. This can't be countered anyway, so... I forgot it had that line of text, to be honest. I actually would have played last game differently if I'd remembered. Guess they forgot about Death Touch. Okay, we win again. That's wild. That is wild. Oh, and it didn't count our aborted game. That's nice. I think my opponent scooped up too quickly there. Like, they have a resolved horror. I can't really... actually, I guess I can race, because this is making an 8-point life swing versus their 7-point life swing, but they only need to top deck, like, 1 live card to get this off the battlefield, and I never get to attack with it again, most likely. I do have the option of Memory Deluge, but they know everything that's in my hand. Like, none of it's amazing. The Jwari disruptions aren't doing much at this point, unless they're trying to resolve other super expensive things. I don't know. Seems premature, but I will take it. Alright guys, that's our video for today. Got 1 game. We got the deck build in there. I appreciate so much you guys tuning in, especially those of you who've stuck around this long. You're the real ones. Do you have any thoughts on the deck, guys? What cards would you have picked that I didn't? What cards do you think weren't pulling their weight? What mistakes do you think I made piloting the deck? What would you do differently? What colors do you think I should be in? What do you think is the best shell for Hullbreaker? I'm actually considering moving into Grixis to have access to some of the strong cards from Black and just the cards that I enjoy, while still having access to things like Expressive Iteration, which is obviously one of the best card draw spells in the format at the moment, and Unexpected Windfall, which helps us churn through our deck, get rid of cards we don't need, and also ramps us, which is really important when you're trying to cast a 7-drop or cast a 5-drop with mana open to protect it. If you have any ideas, thoughts, feelings, questions, comments, queries, concerns, conundrums, or quandaries, get down there in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Otherwise, don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Stay brilliant, and I'm going to catch you real soon.